Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and welcome to everyone who is here. Um, Today we are going to listen to Mr. Ejaz Kati about project management. Um, Sister Nahida, would you like to do the introduction of the?
Assalamu alaikum everyone. A very good morning. I'm Nahida Tasneem. I'll be giving a brief introduction about AMP. Can we have the slides, please? Muslim Professionals. AMP stands for Association of Muslim Professionals. It was created in the year 2007. It was created for the development of Muslim community and further empowering Muslims in the educational, social, political, and economical fronts of life. AMP strives to achieve empowerment by channelizing the immense potential of the talented and educated young minds with the rich and enormous knowledge of the experienced ones. AMP is registered in India, USA, UK, and Australia as a non-profit organization. AMP has completed 13 glorious serving years. It's serving a community in the field of education, employment, and empowerment. Its vision is to positively impact lives of 10 million people by 2030, inshallah. Its only mission is to empower the unprivileged for the greater benefit of the society in general and as a nation as a whole. Moving on to the next slide. In order to see our exponential growth, let us let us get deeper into the insights of our achievements. AMP has various ongoing projects. Few of them are listed on your screen. The first one is School Development Program. School Development Program is one of the AMP's main flagship projects, which has been the most impactful as well. Through this, AMP conducts skill development workshops for the guidance of students towards career planning and self-development. AMP has conducted 2,800 plus skill development lectures and has connected with 800 plus schools, through which 281,000 students have been benefited. Additionally, 110 teacher training and parenting workshops have been conducted for upgrading the knowledge and skills of the teachers and also keeping the students' parents updated on the latest development in the teaching process. The second one is Employment Assistance Cell. It is one of the core projects of AMP. Through Employment Assistance Cell, AMP has been conducting job fairs, job drives, and employability training programs in colleges and schools. In colleges, we are associated with several corporates, consultants, members, volunteers, and professionals who help us in this initiative. Till now, AMP has conducted 360 plus job fairs and job drives, through which 21,000 plus candidates have been employed. Additionally, it has conducted 220 plus employability trainings, through which 17,000 plus graduates have been benefited. The third one is the scholarship and self-employment program. AMP has been actively funding the scholarships to the meritorious students. Till now, 800 plus higher education scholarships have been sent out to students, and 860 plus orphan education have been funded through AMP. It has also transformed the families, 425 families, through self-employment assistance. Also, there is another project, AMP Resource Center. As we are associated with several professionals, AMP has set up online career counseling center. Uh, all the mentors have been listed on the AMP website. You can visit it. There's currently 660 plus career counselors associated with AMP. Through them, 2,500 plus students have been counseled till now. There are also 50 plus documents available on our website, and 1,500 plus career charts have been distributed throughout the schools and colleges. Next, there is award and partnership project. Apart from being striving hard for the betterment of the society, AMP is actively recognizing and acknowledging the people and awarding them. For example, on 15th August, we have one Social Excellence Award program uh, for honoring the NGOs and individual change makers. And also, it has partnered with several government agencies, and it has also partnered with 100 plus NGOs. Next slide, please. In 2020, AMP has come up with new digital initiatives. 3 new initiatives have been started: indiazakat.com, the indiamentors.com, and ampowers.com. Indiazakat.com is India's first zakat crowdfunding platform floated by AMP. Alhamdulillah, it was started in last Ramzan. In less than a year, indiazakat.com has so far helped 800 plus families and NGOs by raising 2.5 crore rupees through 7,500 plus donations. And next is the indiamentors.com. Many mentors have been assigned, actually many mentors have been assigned with the job of guiding for the career guidance of many mentees. If you want any such guidance, you can go to our website and you can register under any mentor you want. And next is ampowerjobs.com. It is a free job portal through which many availabilities, vacancies are being actively posted by the professionals for supporting the young students in this pandemic. Moving on to the next slide. How AMP has achieved all this? By its active presence. Currently, AMP has more than 140 plus active chapters, which are spread across 26 states with 6,000 plus active members in 16 countries. AMP is also present, it is actively present online, through which 1,25,000 members are connected to AMP through various social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Google, WhatsApp, and LinkedIn. Lastly, we all invite you to join us and support us to make this mission a great success. If you'd like to work or volunteer with us for the upliftment of our community, please join us at www.ampindia.org/joinamp. I'm ending my presentation here. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Amir Bhai.
Thank you, Nahida ma'am. Assalamu alaikum.
Amir bhai, Amir, just a second. Let Jazakallah khair, Nahida, Mr. Nahida. We have with us here the head of project, Abdul Razak bhai. If he is able to, can you shed some light on the activities that we are doing and planned a little bit? Razak bhai?
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Khalil bhai, for inviting me for this panel. Today's topic is a very exciting topic because I personally have spent 16 years in corporate life. So I understand the importance of how project management is a key to success for growth in corporate world. AMP, Alhamdulillah, has been blessed with a very good team that organize such good events which help not only the students in terms of planning their career, but also professionals like us who want to scale up and move up the ladder. So that is more important for us when we plan. I have entered the corporate world. I am doing good, Alhamdulillah. But what next? Entry is very good for the freshers. Through our degree, we can enter the corporate world. But what next is the most important thing. I can enter a corporate world. I can start my career. But the real journey starts over there. How do I spend my next 20 year, 30 year in the corporate life? Do I need to stick like the old days where I used to enter a company and stay for next 20 year time? Or should I plan and grow myself in terms of next movement league? People who took 20 years, can I do in a faster note? Can I do it much better? So what are the things that can help me in terms of scaling up? Alhamdulillah, with the blessing of Allah, I have been blessed to work on the ground in offices. I have been blessed to work in corporate office also. The difference between working in branches or far off location and working in the corporate office of a organization, head office, is very different. If you want to scale up, if you want to really grow up big time, you have to aim, how do I reach the corporate office and start working over there? And to work in a corporate office, ideally, every corporate office have a long-term plan, a 5-year, 6-year plans, for which they need professionals who are very thorough in terms of how a project can be taken end to end. If the company have can be worked out on a very strong note, how can we plan a project end to end? And that is what is today's topic, and that is what we are going to actually cover today. Our speaker for today is one of the very prominent personality from one of the finest corporate in India, from the Tata Group. He's part of Voltas. He spent more than 2 decades in his corporate life. He has been a man who has been a specialist of project management. So this is what we are going to learn today from the horse's mouth, how he has been able to scale so high, how he has been able to maneuver over this competitive corporate world. What is it? How can we as a mid-career professionals, or how can we as students aspire and think about those long-term goals about spending life in the CXO category or the top-notch category? What should be the things that I should be knowing in? What is the skill set that I need to add today, which is going to help me tomorrow? Is it that I will learn all this skill after 10-year time, or should I start building this skill set today? So when I reach at the mid-level career, I am much better off than my colleagues in my corporate life. So this is what is going to help us out. At AMP, we have always strived that how can we best get the best mind of the community to interact with our youth, to interact with our children, to interact with our students, so that the students are enlightened and they're given a roadmap how to plan things ahead. Today, it's a technological world. Old days were the days when we used to go to school, colleges, interact with our professors. Today is a technological world. It is more of web talk, webinars, seminars. These are the things which are going to add additional value to my career. So we need to make sure that we make best out of this opportunity. Sitting at our home, this is the best learning that we can get. So we need to spend more time in this type of activity where our personal growth, our skill set growth is going to take place. We need to learn from the best mind in the corporate world, from them how they have been able to sail to this high. Out of every 100 people who join the corporate world, everybody doesn't reach the top notch. It is the selective few who has taken one extra step. Can we do the same thing? Yes. Let us learn from our speakers. Let us learn from our expert panel people, how they have learned to grow so fast, how they have learned to reach that level which we all aspire to go for. So this is the most important thing. With this, I would like to hand over to Khalil Bhai so that we take this seminar forward and help our students who are currently sitting on Zoom. They are currently operating from Facebook, and many of our people who are going to observe at different time zone. Probably everybody across the globe will not be able to see it right now, but this event is posted on AMP YouTube channel. That is where our large audience of 1 lakh members will reach out to this presentation and learn out of the experience of Mr. Ejaz, how he has been able to scale up and how this mid-level career professionals are going to take advantage of his seminar today. Thank you. Jazakallah, Khalil Bhai. Back to you.
Jazakallah khair, Razak Bhai. I will now invite Amir Syed to introduce our speaker. In the meantime, can Sister Farhat make Mr. Ejaz Kaki a co-host so that he can use his slides if he wants to. Amir Syed, you can take over.
Thank you, Khalil sir. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we have an eminent speaker with us, Mr. Ejaz Kazi. Sir has a Bachelor's of Engineering in Mechanical Department from VJTI, Veer Mata Jijabai Technological Institute of Mumbai. He is a project management professional from Project Management Institute, Pennsylvania, United States of America. He has also been the past president of Indian Society of Heating, Refrigerating, and Air Conditioning Engineers. He has a rich 23 years of experience as project director in Voltas Limited, which is an enterprise of Tata. Sir is also a published author and he has authored the books, namely The Person of Your Dream and Focus is Money. You can find these books on Amazon. Project management practices are key to successful implementation and execution of any project. Lot of opportunities are opening up for skilled and competent project managers. Today, we will be trying to understand its importance and career opportunities in this industry by the industry veteran himself, Mr. Ejaz Kazi. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you very much, Team AMP, for giving this opportunity to share some insights on project management. Without wasting much time, I'll dive into the our main subject, which is projects. So I have divided this total session into three things. What are the projects? What is projects? What is project management? And what are the opportunity which are there? I will share some of my experience also. So today's topic is why project management is good career to move, and project is basically a drivers for change, and that is globally accepted as well. So welcome once again. And as I said, projects are and will be the drivers of change. They have always been. So anything and everything which is the sign of growth, projects are there to drive that change or to drive for the growth. Without projects, I think the growth is difficult, and it has been proved from the ancient ages that projects have taken as the drivers of change, drivers of change for the nation, driver for the change for the society and everything. So work has been always considered an essential part of human being. So it's a means of providing food, shelter, and clothes. These are the three basic things which we generally a human being needs. And in the wake of, I am just going back to the history in 1848, what happened in France, where the revolution happened to engage people for productive employment. And that was the revolution we started for getting people to work. It was considered as one of the right for people to work and to earn money. So this was the one of the snapshot or one of the photograph of that revolution. And since then, since those industrial revolution, workers have been progressively reduced, numbers, headcounts, assets, fixed costs, because the targets, the numbers came in between, the profitability came in between, and workers have been reduced to specific numbers. They have been considered assets, and they have been considered headcounts. However, and most management theories revolve around the organization purpose to increase shareholder value, productivity, efficiency came in, and that came as an expense of people. And that's why the people started reducing, the automation came in between, and again the revolution happened. So many organizations lost sight of this. The purpose of an organization is to enable ordinary human beings to do extraordinary things. So that was actually the purpose. But during this phase, this entire purpose, many organizations lost sight of this purpose. And this is one of the great proverb of Peter Drucker, and this is true also. So despite daunting outlook and idea that can inspire us to remain positive, so whatever we have seen, the peoples have become numbers, they became headcount, they became assets. There is one model, and which is projects, which get people to collaborate, to work together and deliver a value. And this projects, this getting together, collaborating is called projects. And over centuries, people are coming together, creating a value, creating a masterpieces in the world, and creating lot of stakeholder value, lot of growth in the world. So this is what is called, this universal project method of working is called projects. And this is one of the definition which comes from the ancient ages, and this definition is very important to understand. So project works has been an engine that turned ideas into reality. Now there are two things happen. One is in mind and one is reality. What we conceive in our mind is an idea, but what we generally implement that idea is through projects. So projects have become of converting that idea into reality, and that has only happened for getting people together, collaborating, innovating, and delivering that value. So let us see seven of the last seven good projects that shape the world. And one of that project, these are considered as mega projects. And I will start some of these projects one by one. The first project was Great Wall of China. And this project was done in 250 BC and AD 1450. It was done to protect the forces of Mongolian to attack the China. And this was the mega structure which was built over 6,000 kilometers of the entire structure. This is the strongest structure or longest structure made by man at that point of time. And you can see the humongous effort which has gone into doing this. The next one is Pyramids of Giza. And again, this was done in very, very long ages back. And the oldest seven wonders of the world is what this pyramid, pyramids of Giza of the Egypt are. The next one is Taj Mahal, which is situated in India, and this was built by Shah Jahan for a tribute to his wife, his love to his wife. And this is another masterpiece created by Shah Jahan. It took around 22 years with 20,000 people to create this masterpiece. So this is project number 3rd. The next one is the Hagia Sophia. This is done in Istanbul. And again, this is a masterpiece itself. It is built very, very long ago, and it is still standing. All these projects which I am talking are still standing. The Colosseum in Italy, again, this was done in AD 70 and 80, and this was done during the Roman Empire. This is the city, very, very old city, which was made, and close to 2 lakh people used to stay in this city. Again, it has lost its significance, but it is still standing there. The next city, which was built on the top of the hills, it is close to 2 kilometers from the sea level. This was another city which was done in Peru. So this is another masterpiece which I wanted to share with you. Now, there are these mega projects which has been done during that era have been remarkably designed. They have been created by engineers and craftsmen. And how these projects are built at that point of time, they needed to have many workers, because at that point of time the technology was not developed that much. They didn't have that much budget with them. The issue of quality and you can see the sustainability or reliability or everything what they have created is still standing. So they were extremely quality conscious, quality focused, but it required a lot of efforts to get people together, to motivate people to do what is standing so far. So these are some of the areas which our people in the old ages have done. They have created. And in today's context, when we talk about mega projects of 1 billion, 1 trillion kind of projects which are done, there are a lot of examples like airports, railways, seaports, a lot of power plants. All these are parts of projects, aerospace projects, the projects people are taking, people on Mars now, people on Moon, all these smart cities. These are the projects which we are talking in current modern era, and these are going to continue. The significance, you can say the fundamental behind what we have seen earlier, the old projects and now new projects which are getting done, is the one important thing, one fundamental truth is how they were managed, how the projects were managed earlier and how the projects are managed now. The fundamental remains same, and that is what we call as project management. However old or without with lot of constraints and manpower issues earlier, and now again projects are called matter of constraints. How we manage those constraints and still deliver the value to the people as a service or as a product is how we manage these projects. And how do we manage these projects is through a project management practices, which we are going to see a little later. So why are projects so good and driving change? So as I said, the greatest governments, the good governments, the political leaders are now promoting projects because that is, as I said, are the drivers of the change in society. So this projects have become an engine that generates lot of accomplishment for civilization, and that also creates a lot of value for society. And there are few illustration which I wanted to tell you about the modern projects. One of the project is reconstruction and reconciliation of Rwanda. Now, as you said, there was the worst genocide in recent human history in Rwanda, but people came together. The president and Kagame decided to change this, and today they have reached out to each and every people there, and today 56% of their women are part of their parliament. So they have reconstructed, reconciled, and Rwanda is one of the growing country in Africa region. The next one is Singapore. Now this is a model itself. When the Prime Minister took the helm at his hand, and he decided to change everything. You can see the Singapore city, how they created the housing for people there, how they created the water for those people, how they created the basic infrastructure. And today Singapore is considered as most commercial city, most planned city in the world. The kind of efforts it took to clean the water of the river of Singapore, it took around 10 to 12 years to clean the water. But the efforts were focused, the projects were focused to deliver value to the society. And today Singapore, as you know, is the main city in the world. The next one comes is Dubai. Everyone is aware of this. From the desert of Dubai, what they have transformed into a city, a vibrant modern city, is all because of these projects which you are seeing. There are many projects related to buildings, related to entertainment, and a lot of things. These are being created in Dubai. The another old smallish small Danish city, Odense, is another example. The Curitiba, Brazil city, is another example. But these are the significant examples of modern India, modern world. So why and how these projects drive the change? Some of the most fascinating technological achievements, as I said, advancement has happened because of brilliance of implementation of project. The Kennedy's vision to send people on Mars happened in 1960. The creation of Boeing 777 is another example of a masterpiece of a project. Project Purple, which built the first smartphone, is a project. And the iPhone, you must have seen what has created, transform the entire telecommunication industry, is also the project. So all these projects have significantly changed our way of life, our thinking, and these projects will continue to do this. They will continue to become the drivers of change. Projects are timeless and universal. The construction of pyramids, or development of smart cities or modern cities, or Apollo program, all these achievements were the result of idea being turned into reality. As I said, Robin Sharma says everything happens twice in the life or in the world. One is in the mind, and another is the reality. So if you don't conceive everything in your mind as an idea, you will not be implemented. So these ideas of people going to moon, or developing a smartphone, or creating pyramids, all these have come through an idea, and projects have helped them to create that idea into reality. So there are, when we start a project, we have to have ambitious goal, a higher purpose, and a clear deadline. These are three characteristics of the project. We should have, first of all, goals or idea what you want to do, and behind that idea, what is the purpose of implementation of the idea. And the projects are never continuous. They have a deadline. So with that deadline, the project starts. And projects change the world. Projects makes impossible dreams possible. So any idea, any impossible things, projects can only make it possible. So these are some of the significance which I wanted to talk about projects first before we get into the project management. So the project revolution, looking at our future now, what is going to happen in future? Are projects going to be the same, or there will be decline? Anything? Let's see what is future, ahead of future. So we have seen the chronological orders, what has happened. There were several moments which have helped to accelerate the world progress. In 1970, the PC at work came. In 1980, the business process reengineering wave came in. In 1990, the ERP came in. In 2000, outsourcing and supporting that operation become a big thing. In 2010, and now big data and extreme automation has taken a priority. Today, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all these are taking a big priority in our lives. So it is going to continue. It is going to continue like this, and more things are going to come. So result of these changes, companies have made their operation extremely efficient, reaching levels where finding additional efficiency improvement is no longer possible. However, the number of projects which organization wants to take it forward have increased year after year. There is an understanding of creating efficiency in operations. Remember, operations are different than projects. Operations are continuous when the project gets finished and they take it over. But while they try to create a lot of efficiency in the operations, number of projects have increased. And when the number of projects are increased, we also get a chance to become part of those projects. So these are increasing, number of projects are not reducing. And this is one of the study which was done till 2020. You can see the blue part is an operation, and a lot of money comes from operation because of learning, operating that building or the service for a long period of time. But you can see the efficiency part, the taylorism, the mass production, the PCs, all this comes part of operation. But projects change the business. That you can see on the right hand side here. You can see now, and it is going on increasing from 1910 to 2020. You can see the significant part of projects helping business grow is now taking place. And you can see the efficiency comes in picture when operation comes in. But when we talk about projects, the projects, people are required to create the projects. Nothing can happen automatically. So this is the change which is happening, and is continue to grow. You can see the sharp turn here between 2000 to 2020. Projects are becoming the change agent of business. So you can see what is going to happen. The AI is coming, the machine learning is coming. So these are the disruptive technologies that will accelerate the growth, but that will try and take side into the operations part. Will this happen? Will this impact the project revolution? It will impact a bit, but these technologies will be able to add more value, but they will not replace people, and that is very important to understand. So projects are human in machine. Field future, embrace it. Projects are not going to be replaced by machines. The projects are human in machine. So all these technologies, all these new technologies are going to add value. So it is important that we become project leaders by getting ourselves trained. Even if you are not trained, you have time to get trained. In the new landscape, projects are becoming an essential model to deliver change and create value. So the good news is that project-based is a human-centric, and projects cannot be carried out by machines. They need humans to do the work. And this is the good news which I was talking about. So humans must gather together, create a purpose. They can take the help of technology to add efficiency, to add value, but the people will remain at the center. The people won't be replaced by the machines. People will be required for creating projects. And this is very important. And this is where I'm talking about the career management. Now, what is projects? Project is defined as a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product or service. Projects, as I said, are different from operations. They have definite beginning and they have limited duration. So they have definite end also. So this is the definitions come from PMI, and this is applicable for all kind of projects. If you take IT projects, if you take construction projects, every project, this is the definition which says that it creates value, it creates a product, and that is a unique. So if you do a project of hospital in Dubai, there will be uniqueness in that project. If you do in India, there will be uniqueness of the project. The uniqueness could be the location, the kind of construction methodology we use, the people who are involved there. The unique in here will be different. So the unique is very important part of this definition. Another definition is projects are always temporary. They start and they end. There is no continuous operation. But when they end, they deliver value to the people, value to the society, value to the stakeholders. And this is where the projects are coming. Next, projects are management is application of knowledge, tools, techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. And this is the definition of project management. The project management starts with initiation and it's end with closing. So project management, there's a little myth here that people think that people who are working on a project site, they are the project managers. The project managers have to start the project and has to end the project. Construction of a project is one of the activity. It has to have, the components should have initiation, planning, executing, controlling, and closing. These all, when they come together, it's called project management. So as I said, initiating, planning, monitoring and controlling, and closing, and actually doing the work. So when we plan the work, then we do that work. And when you do that work, you have to see whether it is going as per plan or whether it is deviating from plan. And then we have to take actions to bring it back to the plan. And then we go and close the project and then hand it over to operations for continuous use of that project or of that service. Even a software is a project. And this is very important for all of us here who are joined here. Project management is more art than science. So you can get a lot of knowledge about how do we plan. You can go on, Microsoft projects, Primavera, all these tools you can use. But the important thing is painter knows how to paint, but the masterpiece can be created by only one person or few people who the paintings will, speaks itself that this painting is different and this painting is different. So project management is more art than science, and we have to put a lot of focus on art part of it. Now, art part of it is all about leadership, all about people management, all about motivation. And as I said, the projects are basically people-centric. Human are involved. So if you are not able to handle human properly, because they are very difficult to handle, we can handle the machines, you can make the program and machines will run, but humans are not like that. So this is where the art part comes in. How do we manage people to deliver the projects at right point of time with right value, with right efficiency, is all about project management. And that is why the art part, the leadership part, the people who are joined here have to focus on art part. How do we become leader? And that is very important to understand. This is what about the planning, scheduling, cost control. All these are science part of project management, but the art part of project management, as I said, leadership, negotiation, team building, motivation, facilitation, coaching, all these are important things for a successful project. Now, this is the combination of left hand brain and right hand brain. The right hand brain and left hand brain has to work cohesively to deliver the project. And this is very important to see. This is what we see. We see 17% of science in project management and 83%, which is the eyes below the sea, is the art part. And this is where all of us put focus and improve and grow, learn more. And because art part can be, it is not that born leadership or that these are all myth. We can become leader by learning from others, learning from challenges, and grow this. So this foundation has to be strong for you to become a project manager. Project management is like trying to build, manage a project. Without project management is like trying to play football without a game plan. So project management is a game plan. It's like a football. When you go into football, you must have a game plan to go and win, right? Similarly, project management plan or project management has to be there when you deliver project. So it's like same. You have to have a game plan, and that is game plan in project is called project management. Now, how the life cycle of project looks up? It is similar to our life. When we get birth, then we go to childhood, then we go to the adulthood, and then we die. But the important thing is what we leave legacy behind. There are people who leave legacy behind, and there are people who just leave and people don't remember. So project life cycle is same. It is like this. The project start from initiation to closure, and this is called initiating to closing. And there are 10 knowledge areas, and this is the foundation of project management. This is the very, very important foundation of project management. And this is how the project management processes are defined. This is coming from PMBOK, project management knowledge of body of knowledge. And as I said, initiation to closing. And these are the 10 knowledge areas. which are important for any project to get completed. It starts from integration, scope, schedule, quality, resources, communication, risk, procurement, and stakeholder. All these are important elements, important knowledge areas that we called in projects are required to successfully build a project. And you can see there are processes in each and every area. There are processes, and you can see in planning there are 24 processes. There are total 49 processes, out of which 50% of the importance is given to planning. So without planning, without plan, we can't build a project.
I think, are you stuck at the slide or are you using the same slide for a while? Because we see the.
No, you are not able to see this slide.
We can see a slide. We can see the slide, but it's the same slide has been there for a little while now. Can you unshare and reshare? Probably it's stuck.
1 minute.
Yeah. In the meantime, do you want me to launch the poll?
After this slide, we'll launch the poll. After
Okay,
this slide.
You. Okay.
Can you see now?
Yes, we can. Yeah, thank you.
So this is the whole game of project management. It has the process groups, which we call as initiating to closing. And there are 10 knowledge areas, which helps to build a project management processes. There are 49 processes, and you can see the importance of planning, which is given 24. So unless there is a plan, we can't go and win. So unless there is a plan, we can't execute. And when we execute, we'll be able to control. So if you have a plan, then we'll monitor. So this is how the entire process are defined. And these are the processes. So I will not go into each and every process, but these are the processes in each group and each knowledge areas. So if you look at project integration, this is called a process called develop project charter, develop project management plan. How we are going to handle the project is to develop project management plan. Then how do we execute the project, how you monitor the project, and how you close the project. This is what the all processes are all about. Now there are 49 processes and 10 knowledge areas, as I said. And these are the 10 knowledge areas. It starts with integration, scope, time, cost, quality, human resource, communication, risk, procurement, and stakeholder. All are covered here. And without this, you will not be able to build the project successfully. So how this process groups starts? It is not like that when I initiate the project, then I will plan, then I will execute, and then I will monitor, and then I'll close. If you go into that direction, the project duration will become huge. So these process groups have to interact in between. That means when I start planning, I will start some of the execution also. When the planning ends, the execution will take care, and you can go a little forward. But I will not stop for entire planning to happen. With some kind of planning, I'll start. The monitoring and control will start from the beginning and it will end. So it will monitor the entire project from initiation to closing. So this is how the level of interaction happens with respect to time. Now, what is the requirement of cost to start the project, and how many people are required to start the project? Always the cost is less when we start the project, and even the staff are less in the when we start the project. But in between, you will have maximum cost and maximum people. And when we start closing, we start releasing people, and that's why our cost also comes down. So this is how the staffing and cost happens. The next one is risk. When we start the project, the risk is very, very high, because we don't know what we are going to happen. What is going to happen on that project? The project might get delayed, all those things. But when we get into the project, the risk comes down, and we complete the project, the risk comes down. Similarly, cost at the start is less, but when we go into the project, the cost becomes high. So this is with respect to time. So I think we can go with the poll now. Hello?
Yes. Just 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, I have started it. I'll give, shall I give them 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, you have just under 30 seconds now to answer the question.
I request all of you to
Yeah, please.
request all to participate so that we'll know what is the learning, or is there any lacuna in my understanding or my presentation. I will clear it. Can we go with next one?
Yeah. Shall we share the results or?
Yeah, the result, there's one person who has voted for true, and that is not right. It is false. The projects are different than operations. Next one.
Okay. I'm not sure. Okay.
Requests others to also participate.
Yeah, please. Don't worry. You will not fail the exam.
Yeah, this is not examination center.
In life, you have to take calculated risk. Start today.
Can we go next? And this is
Yeah.
correct.
Okay, I think
The last word is end, definite end. Absolutely correct. Can we go to next? Again, absolutely correct. Can we go to next? And okay, the person who voted last is right. 49 processes. I just mentioned 2 minutes back. There are 49 processes in project management. So I think we'll end the poll here and move further.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So what are the importance of project management? Why project management is important? The first item is it meets the business objective. Now, whether you are, a sponsor or a customer for the project, or if you're doing a contracting for that project, you need to have business objectives. One is probably for the contractor turnover and profit. That is one of the financial business objective. The next one is we have to satisfy the stakeholder expectations. When we do the project, as I said, we have to create value. Now I'll give an example of Worli Bandra Sea Link. That was the project which was built in Mumbai. People who know that project, it took long period of time to get a traveler from Bandra to Worli in 4 minutes. And whether the people are going from Bandra to Worli in 4 minutes, yes, they are going. So stakeholders are happy. So we have to create happiness. When we build a operation theater in a hospital, we should be able to operate that customer. Obviously, doctors are there, but we have to create a facility that at this particular temperature, the operation has to happen. So everything has to be cold there. So if it is not there, the doctors will not come to that operation theater to do the operations, and obviously patients will not come. So we have to satisfy the needs of the stakeholder expectation, and with right project management, you will be able to do that. You will be able to make it happen. Be more predictable and consistent delivery. When you do these practices, processes continuously, you will become more predictable. We know what is going to happen next, and we will be able to deliver consistent delivery of the project. So if A project manager handles this project, a B project manager handles this project, if they apply the same project management processes, the delivery will be consistent, the value will be consistent. It increases the chances of success. We have to win and we have to exceed this stakeholder of expectation. If you handle this with good project management practices, the chances of project getting successful is more. Deliver the right product at the right point of time. In today's age, it is very important to deliver the right product at the right time, because technologies are just getting obsolete day by day. So if you deliver that product which is already obsolete now, it will not have any value. So project management will help you to deliver the products at the right point of time. Resolve the problems and issues. Any projects which will have problems. It will have human problems, it will have natural problems, it will have technological problems. We will have to, and most critical problem is human problems. With right project management practices, you will be able to resolve those issues properly, and that will help to make your project successful. Respond risk. Projects are full of risk. Currently, in the period of Corona, it's again a big risk. But if you handle the project management, a project with project management practices, you are proactively ready to handle any kind of risk. And that is one of the biggest importance of project management. Optimize resources. You will be able to get the resources you are required. Rather than fill with resources, you will know when this resource is required, it will come at that point of time. So if you prepare a proper schedule with project management, you will be able to optimize resources, and then you will be able to reduce the cost. Identify, recover, terminate failing projects. If you know this project is going to get failed, then you have to identify it at the beginning, not after completion of the project. So that identification can happen properly with project management. Changes. Any projects will have so many changes, because every time the innovative ideas comes in, how do we manage those changes? Those changes can be detrimental to project success. The changes can be, enabler for project success. But if you manage properly, otherwise there will be big issue in projects. And as I said, projects have been part of constraints. We always have constraints of time, cost, and scope with this quality at the center. If you don't balance this properly, you will have problems on the project. So projects will be able to manage these constraints properly. Now, who is the project manager? Project manager is the person who is assigned to deliver that project. And for that project, again, I'm going back to the basic art part. The communicator, project manager has to be a good communicator. It is said that project manager has to spend 90% of the time on communication. Very, very important. And that's why we have to build on this. So it is first activity, you can say characteristics has to be effective communication skills, leadership skills, good decision-making skills, inspiring team building skills, and he has to be calm under pressure. Project is always with pressure. So it is important to know this. It is like, you cannot make anybody and everybody to project manager. Like Sachin Tendulkar versus MS Dhoni. MS Dhoni was cool captain who was able to handle his troops properly. Sachin Tendulkar was the best batsman, but when he was made captain, he was not that successful. So it's important to see this. As I said, projects are difficult, and they're full of challenge. The key difference is how do we handle this challenge? These challenges have to be handled properly. We have to be after the challenges, and not challenges should not be after us. So we have to take total responsibility. There has to be, trustworthiness. People should be able to collaborate each other. We should be able to accessible at the project actions plan. We have to have your eyes and ears open so that we know what is happening in the projects. If you are handling large projects, it's very important, and the project manager has to act like a superstar, like this gentleman who comes in the action and takes. He has to be like superstar, and he is the one who is going to be the key driving or key differentiating factor between the successful project and unsuccessful ones. So leadership has to have full gear into the project. He has to be disciplined. He has to show. He has to walk the talk. Any smallest effort, error in the discipline can have huge impact on projects. Challenges will be there, but they have to be under us. Challenges will also throw a lot of learnings, and we have to learn from those learnings. We should not be worrying of those learnings. We have to use these learnings to make it successful. So when you stop learning, you stop dying. This is very important, and that is how project management has to learn. And when we know everything, we have to share, because it makes you wise. Keeping the knowledge with us will only decay that knowledge. It will now not have any meaning of that knowledge. But when you start sharing, we will also become wise. So this is one small story which I want to talk about. There's one dog who used to eat his food across the fence. He used to come right over here and he used to take his food daily. This was a daily routine. But he did not know there is a simplest route and shorter route which is here. But will the dog ever take the shortest route? No, never, because dog has tasted the success of coming all over the long route and take his food. So this is what happens to the people. When we get consistent success, we like to follow the same methodologies, and we stop learning. We don't challenge our thinking, and that is the differentiation factor for people who take challenge and go ahead, and people who remain in a comfort zone. So this is one of the story which very important for all of us. If you want to come into this field, we have to learn. And project manager is like a maestro. You can see a maestro here. He is managing all the musicians, the tablas and the violins and the guitars and the keyboards. But these all people do their best at with their music. But the maestro is one who combines entire music and give a very pleasant music in our ears. So project manager is like an integrator. And this is how we have to build. And this is how I'm building it up for all of you. Now, there are 3 P's which are very critical in coming future. Very important P's. These P's are people, projects, and planet. This is going to be the buzzword going forward. All of you who are coming into the field or who are intend to come into the field, the projects will be at the center. The people will be at the center stage, and planet, because everybody is trying to save the planet of what, from a lot of things which you want to make the planet workable and sustainable. So these 3 P's are very important. And this is one of the quote from Venkaiah Naidu, our vice president. He said the prime minister of this country is a project manager. And you can see the kind of, investment which is going to happen. 1.5 trillion in physical infrastructure in next 5 years. Infrastructure means projects. And for COVID related things, you can see 266 billion have been spent. Now this COVID related things are again projects. I personally, in last lockdown, have built 12 hospitals for COVID patients. So these were also challenges for all of us to learn what is to be done and to implement. So project economy is going to grow. India is on growth path. Make in India, Atmanirbhar India, all these are synonyms. But what we have to look at from these, wordings is what there is a growth, and the growth is happening in all sectors. Earlier there were 4 metros: Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, and Delhi. Now you can see how many metros have come up. The tier 2, tier 3 cities are coming up. So, and everything which comes up needs projects, needs buildings, need infrastructure, and this is where the spend is going to be, and this is where people will be required. And this is very important study for all of us. As per PMI, India needs 4 lakh competent project manager annually. If India has to grow, the projects have to grow. The projects have to be completed properly. That's why India needs 4 lakh competent project managers. These are only project managers. The project team members, the coordinators, a lot of people are required. And another PMI research indicates that employers will need to fill 2.2 million new project-oriented roles each year throughout through 2027 worldwide. So you can imagine there is a career here and there is a requirement here. It is one, we have to take initiative to be part of this. This is a nation building stream. Project management is called nation building stream, a world building stream, you can say. And this is where a small snapshot of India requirement. As far as the another study goes, what about the upskilling which we required? Now you can see the project management is at number 4. Critical decision making, leadership management, data analysis, the project management comes 4. So that means the upskilling requirement is again the more priority is given to project management, the 4th one in this era. So these are some of the surveys which will throw some of the light. So being a project manager is like being an artist. You have a different colored process streams combining into work art. As I said, you have to be like maestro. He has to be like artist, and he has to have that art part of leadership qualities to become project manager. A project manager, you can see, has got huge spear around him. He has the project team members, he has the customers, sponsors, he has the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders are who are having a vested interest in the project. The stakeholder could be people, the stakeholder could be society, the stakeholder could be media, the stakeholder could be government. These are all stakeholders which project manager has to take care of it. Now, these are some of the data points which I want to get through. This is the certified certification holders across the world. The project management professional is the best certification available in the world right now. We are close to 9.11 lakhs. Then you can get the other certifications also. The PMP is one of these things. The total project management professionals are growing. You can see the number of people across the world. This is the world data is growing, and because we need people for delivering right project. You can see the salaries of the people across the world for project managers. They are growing because we need good people who want to get into this segment. So why to become project manager? First of all, you have to expand your knowledge. You have to come into this game to understand what is the game plan and how it can improve your knowledge. That knowledge can be then used for better project manager, better decision making for your future projects. The next one, you have to master your execution skill. So whatever, as I said, whatever idea we conceive, we are the people as a project manager who make it reality. So we have to have that execution skills. It is not only brick, mortar, and cement. Execution skill involves handling people, handling machines, handling customers, handling stakeholders, communicating people, and getting people together to make that masterpiece in front of you. So that execution skills we should have. The project management is for everyone. It is not necessary that this gentleman is only meant to be project manager. Anybody can make the project manager. 2 examples. The person who landed the Mars rover on the Mars was the youngest project manager, 42-year-old guy who was handling 75 years scientist. You can see the last mission of our Chandrayaan was handled by a woman, very young woman. So it is for everyone. It is not for 1 or 2 person. For that, we have to develop communication skills. We have to be master of communications. We should be able to convey our message across without any noise. And the message has to be concise, crisp, and transparent. And these communication skills we have to have. As I said, 90% of the time goes into communication in any project. You will have to become navigator. You will not get all 5 fingers of same quality. You will have different kind of fingers. We have to navigate all these people through and see to that the goal is achieved, the project is completed. You will have a lot of hurdles, you will have a lot of curves, bends, all those things. You have to get through all these people and reach to the target. And that is very important because we have to always show vision of the project, the purpose of the project to our team. And that will only help us to navigate the people towards the success. We have to be more attentive for the details. These are some of the qualities that are required for the project manager. Detailing is very important. Project manager cannot be in the air. He has to be at the ground, understand impact of each and every activities in detail and how it is going to impact the project. He has to get a lot of knowledge, detailed knowledge, innovative ideas to implement. And before you implement, you should know what is going to impact. So you will understand the importance of such small things will help you to use in your future career and life. You get more job perspectives. As I said, it is a growing field. You will have so many roles to play in the projects. You will have so many areas to play in the project. If you are inclined towards this, you have the passion to come and do the project. Today, after 22 years, I go across many cities in India and tell proudly my friends, my family, that this project was built. I was involved in this project. So if you attach that passion, obviously jobs will come in front of you. Become a project manager, you get more possibilities to build new career and variety of skills. You get attached to so many people in your world. When you do a manufacturing job, you go in the morning and come in the evening. You have small setup, small people who you report to. But when you're in project, you are into the world and you meet a lot of people, you learn from them, and you also get a lot of career opportunities because you are in the limelight. So now you are understanding, what is the importance of project manager. The growth of the project management is organizations. It has a great choice for people who want to make critical role in helping the business. So project manager is not only managing the project, it also helps the organization to build the organization, to add value to the organization and help business run. Many project companies like us who are into the project are only doing projects. That is one of the vertical, and we are the people who are helping that business. So you should consider, you have to love managing projects. As I said, you have to add passion into the projects. You have to have passion into this science. Then you want to make the real difference to the business. If you want to become successful, you have to be that key differentiator. You cannot be all and sundry. You have to make a good impression by making a difference, by going all out and giving your best and showing that you have created some value to the organization. You want to make a real difference to the team. It is not only you have to create teams below you. You have to create leadership below you so that they also grow along with you. So you have a larger role to play in projects. There are some of the modern projects, WWW, that we use now. These are some of the great projects people have attached to. Apollo 11, microprocessor, human projects, Alibaba, a single day sale, that was the project, right? Live 8 concerts, M-Pesa, Netflix, Alexa, these are all projects. Burj Khalifa, Walt Disney, Google search, MRI, Boeing 747, iPod, International Space Stations, Panama Canal. These are all modern projects which has helped many in the process. Global Polio, Aadhaar, which is from India, big project. BRT, Wikipedia, Project Tiger is again Project Tiger was India project. First IVF baby, TGV, Open Flood, Sydney Opera House. It has its own learnings from. And some of the areas where people can get in is where I come from is construction. Construction is one area people need a lot of good people. Energy is another sector, need a lot of people. These are the projects where we need people. Healthcare. In today's area, today's world, healthcare is going to be the first important thing in life. And a lot of investment is going to happen in healthcare. The Ayushman Bharat is going to have a lot of hospitals in rural areas also. IT, everyone knows, the software development, the communications, innovations. We need people to make projects. Engineering, R&D, software developments, marketing, research, consulting. These are some of the areas where there is a career, and these are areas related to projects. All things which I said about construction, energy, healthcare, information technology, software, R&D, engineering, marketing, consulting, all these are related to projects. So these are areas which are open for all of you to make growth. You can see from construction to architecture to health to manufacturing to engineering to software, everything is available for all of you to join. And how do we grow? We grow from project coordinator to assistant project manager to senior project manager to director project. Then you can be a CEO or VP of the project. This is the career path which we have. We can start with a project team member. We can become project manager. We can become program manager, portfolio manager. Program managers are interrelated projects, many projects working together. Portfolio managers are again a huge portfolio. We can become project management officer, You can become senior executive or CEO of the company. So this is the career path which we have in project management. Some of the examples of what are the number of jobs, snapshots on Naukri.com or any other place, people always look for project managers. And that is the buzzword. What are the certifications which are required to become a good project manager? You can visit www.pmi.org, but these are the two basic certifications. One is on the left-hand side is basic, the CAPM, the Certified Associate in Project Management. Another one is Project Management Professional. This holds huge value in the world to become a good project manager. And for CAPM, there are prerequisites. It has to be a secondary degree or high school diploma with 23 hours of training, which are required. These are available anywhere in the India or anywhere in the world. The certification goes through an exam, which has got 150 questions. And it is not that you pass the exam and you get certification. This certification has to be renewed every 3 years, so that you are part of the projects and you are adding value to the society of the project. And that is the whole aim of you engaging and adding professional development units. These are all the experience and learnings which you get every year, and that will help you to continue your certification. When you talk about PMP, you have to have a 4-year degree or high school diploma. However, you need some experience. 36 months you should be having experience in project management if you are having a degree. If you are having a diploma, you need 60 months of experience. You need 35 hours of project management training. There are franchises of PMI who are giving the trainings. And once you are through with this, you can go through exam. Now exams are defined into 3 different domains: people, process, and business environment. And these are the percentage of items on the test. And there are 175 questions, 5 questions without any answer, without any marks. Total questions are 180, and you have 230 minutes allotted for examination time. These are all objective questions, and most of the answers are right. You have to choose the most correct answer and to pass this exam. Again, to create this, continue this, you have to have 60 PDUs. Earlier, there were only 15 PDUs. Here, you need 60 PDUs to renew your certificate. I have completed my PMP in 2006, and then onwards, I'm continuing every 3 years. So how do we start? We have to start somewhere. Maybe a small organization, maybe a small role, but you have to get into the project domain. There are many companies who are doing the projects, and then you have to concentrate on hard work and nothing else. You don't have to think about salaries at the first point. You have to only think about hard work. Giving the differentiation, you have to be the key differentiator who add value to the organization. In projects, you will end up, getting a lot of challenges. A lot of challenging conditions will come in, but you have to handle this, and you have to handle carefully. Don't give up, because the success must be just around the corner. When you get into this, you will have to stop. Don't stop learning. You have to stop, everything, but don't stop learning. All these challenges will give a lot of ideas to yourself to grow. So when challenge is given, take it. Sometimes what happens is one project manager leaves. If you are a good person, you might be getting a chance, and you will be given a chance. You don't have to worry. Just take it and do it. And these are some of the important tips which I want to, put it through. The best way to predict future is to create it. And we are the people who are in the industry of project management, who are the one who are responsible for creating it. Please read my books. As I said earlier, these are available on Amazon. And you can follow me on all these social media platforms. I will leave open the forum for any questions and answer. I hope I have done justice to the topics. So over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ejaz Qazi. That was a very insightful session. Thank you for taking us through this entire process. You made it very simple and have given an in-depth knowledge about what project management is and how one can make the career in this. We have few questions now on the portal. I would like to take those questions for you. I will try to consolidate few questions as we are already over the time, but we can quickly take these questions. So the first one is what specialization one can opt in MBA to do project management, and I'll consolidate it with another question, which asks which colleges provide the project management specialization.
So there are colleges like NICMAR who provides various aspects of project management, but they have different courses for it. But if you have certain kind of experience, which I told you in my last slides, you can go for this PMP. It is a valuable certification which only needs your efforts to get the exam through. It's a tough exam, but people who are devoted to this field can easily get through. So if you achieve with certain kind of experience that exam, first, as I said, you get into the project field, learn on the ground, and then you earn those experience and go for the exam. That is the best way, rather than going, as I said, you can learn a lot of things in colleges, technical things, scheduling and all those things. But finally, you have to learn the art part of it. And that can be only learned through this certification of PMP. But there are a few colleges like IIPM Chennai, the NICMAR institutes across India, which helps to provide the project management courses.
Thank you. So the next question is around doing an MBA. So if somebody wants to do an MBA after their graduation and want to specialize in project management, what exact courses or specialization in MBA would be beneficial? And also, doing a 2-year MBA or a distant executive MBA or a distant MBA is better than the PMPM certification. Which one would be better?
PMP holds a lot of value across the world. And MBA you can do in strategy or even project management. But as I said, the certification, the most important certification which is there in the world is PMP, universally accepted.
Okay. Going to the next question, someone is asking, he's a final year engineer graduate, mechanical engineer graduate, and he's asking what is the scope of mechanical engineer as project manager, and how can I start my career as project manager?
So I can relate myself here. I am a mechanical engineer. I started my career in Voltas way back in 1998 after my college as a trainee engineer in projects. So I got an opportunity to work with Voltas Tata Enterprise. I started my career as a trainee engineer, and then I grow. I started working at project sites. Then I grew myself. I had people below me as hands, and this is how I gone up to project director. So you have to start at the lowest level and learn. I actually spent close to 3 to 4 years on the project field, the construction field, before I got another promotion, and then I went and built up my career. So mechanical engineer has a lot of things to do: HVAC, firefighting, plumbing, and a lot of mechanical systems. If you look at one building of hospital, there are 22 mechanical services which are required. 22 medical gas systems, oxygen plants, all these are mechanical related things. So mechanical engineers have a lot of value in construction. A lot of mechanical, my own colleagues of my era have gone and graduated into softwares. Many people are in TCS and Infosys doing the projects there. So mechanical engineer, we consider as jack of all, has huge amount of opportunity in project, but you have to start somewhere. Don't start, you can't find that I'm B, so I will get a higher position. My suggestion is to go onto the field, learn, and then you can graduate, because that learnings will be more important than doing the BE. BE is all our fundamental things we are getting cleared, but it has huge opportunity in projects.
Thank you. I have another question which I think you have already answered. So I'll just quickly skim through it. So the attendee asked whether you recommend a certification for mechanical engineer to be a project manager or not.
Certification, as I said, mechanical engineer, as I am mechanical engineer, I went for project management because I had a passion for the projects, and certification holds a lot of value across world. I have done some international projects in India where the requirement in the contract by those international agencies was to have a project manager with certification. So I got an opportunity because I was one of the few in my organizations, and I led that project.
Thank you. We have another question. You have mentioned that you the traits that are important for being a project manager, like leadership, or you said 90% of the project management is a communication.
Yeah.
So how do you think one can acquire these traits to become a successful project manager?
This can only come through learn experiences and practical experiences, and when you are at the field you deal with a lot of people, so every day has to be a learning curve for all of us, and we can always go and introspect ourselves, how I dealt today, how I dealt with this stakeholder and that stakeholder, whether I dealt it properly, what was the feedback of the other side, which has given a lot of insights to you. All these small experiences can give you a lot of learnings, and then you can refine yourself to become a good communicator. If you stop learning, then you will not get, but communication plays an extremely important role in projects. So all these will come through your own learnings by meeting so many people, your own behavior and fine tuning that behavior after each learning.
Thank you. A quick another question. It's more like sharing your experience. You have already shared it, but someone has asked, like, where, like, you have worked on multiple projects, and which is your most favorite project, and why is it so, and what all challenges you faced in those projects?
So, as I said, I have been part of many projects, including airports and other places. The project which I'm doing currently right now, it is for Reliance. And this is the Geo World Center, which is India's largest project in terms of value and the size and the complexity. I have been involved from last 3 years, and this is the most challenging project. It has gone through a lot of changes, and many of you must have known Akash Ambani's marriage happened. This is the same project which I delivered, and we are just closing that project. I feel this project has given me a lot of learnings in terms of complexity, size, and number of stakeholders from across the world, including the chairman and the Ambani family. So this has given me a lot of learnings, and I feel this is one of the, I can say, flagship project in my life.
Thank you. I guess definitely everyone are knowing about this Reliance project that you're talking about, and definitely congratulations on that, sir.
Thank you.
Moving ahead, the next question is, if someone is a fresher, and is it possible that they can kickstart their career in project manager? If yes, how? And if not, then what is the right time to do so?
Any fresh guy, as I said, has to start as a part of project team member. You can get any role. You can be in sales, you can be in design, you can be at execution, you can be a project coordinator. Any role you get, you can start. And project manager cannot come on the first day. Then you have to build and show your differentiation to become a project manager. So you have to add those art part and the other characteristics to show that you can handle projects independently. So when I started my career, I was one of the team member in one of the project, and I had my bosses and the superiors. Then after 3 years, I was given an independent charge of one project. After that, I was given multiple charge of the projects. So that is how the career builds. So as I said, you have to start at any point of time. It could be design, it could be sales, it could be project execution, or it could be testing and commissioning. Any role you get there, slog. Slog is very important. Slogging and not looking at any other things, and then you can start building your career.
I'll take the last question. It asks, like, what are the checkpoints that you would say that one should not do during a project execution? A strict no while making sure that you execute a project well.
So not doing planning is one of the important things should be avoided. We have to concentrate on planning. Second, in projects, communication matrix, who should be doing what communication has to be in place. If that is not placed, a lot of rumors happen. So avoiding those rumors that are detrimental to the project, and not having change control process. Any project will have change. How do we manage that change is important. So not having change control process is another area which I would like to focus on. And the third important thing is, how do you manage risk? And risk can be coming at any point of time, but not getting prepared for any such kind of risk kind of situation is another thing which I should not be doing.
So that was all with the question. We have one small note for you. I would like to read that. So Mr. Asadullah says, "Thank you, sir. I'll keep you as my role model and work on my career. Glad to hear you." So that was a note for you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now I would like to ask Mr. Saif to take over the session and end the session.
Thank you very much again. Thank you very much, Mr. Azaz Kazi, for giving us an insight on how we can take project management as a career. And as you told, that project managers are always in demand, no matter what the industry. The qualified professionals are always needed to plan and provision the work. And we also saw the basic principles of project management, which included planning, organizing, securing, controlling, leading, and managing resources and tasks to achieve specific business goals. And we also looked over how the budget setting part is important and how reporting the progress to the stakeholders and the multiple aspects that a project manager has to take. And as you mentioned, it's always growing. It's a growing industry and it will be in high demand, the requirement of project managers. And they are required in a wide variety of industries, including IT, business service, oil and gas, finance, and insurance. Moreover, moving on, you told us about how the project managers are always learning. They must regularly refresh their knowledge of process and structures, new markets, technology, products and services, and customers. And at last, you let us know, which was very important, how we can become a project manager if we are fresher or if we are changing the career, the whole education path, and what certification. That was a really, really great insight. And I will be hopeful that many of our attendees will take it as a motivation and will move forward to it. And at last, I will like to thank you once again for your time to tell us about this. And I would also like to thank all the participants and attendees who are here with their patience. I hope this was fruitful.